get above that, then off to the races, 74,000, and then honestly probably higher. I think, again, this line breaks, you're going to probably stall at 74 and then bust right through it.
Wait a minute, everyone. We all agree that the crypto market never sleeps, but with countless newsletters out there, how do you choose the best one for you? BitcoinZella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to BitcoinZella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
Right into Bitcoin, and again, guys, this is some interesting stuff. Now, you look at Bitcoin and there's almost no movement today. That to me is actually significant, and I'm going to tell you why. The significance here is, again, what it means. So you have the dollar starting to rally as a safe haven asset. You have gold, you have bonds, all that stuff. Bitcoin's barely moving. So again, for me at least, I take that to mean that, again, as of now, and I say as of now because I'm a big long-term believer in Bitcoin, but as of now, it is still not considered a safe haven asset at this point, okay? Now, having said that, what are our levels that I've covered all week long? And again, we've chopped around. It's basically this level here, a daily close below that level right there would be bearish for the chart. And if we go up here, we have a line from this high to this high, which cuts right through this high. I'm going to do my best to draw it here, even though it's not great. And if you get above that, then off to the races, 74,000, and then honestly probably higher. I think, again, this line breaks, you're going to probably stall at 74 and then bust right through it. So we'll watch to see which way it goes. Again, the bias here would be slightly bullish. We'll do a B there. If it gets below here, it's a B for bearish. I guess those are both Bs. So we'll do a minus and a plus here. And then if you get above here, it's like B plus plus plus. Like that would be really bullish. So we're right in the zone here that's still holding on to the slightly bullish sentiment or the slightly bullish technical bias. But again, just know that if you get below there on a daily closing basis, intraday doesn't matter to me. You've been below intraday multiple times. It's about that daily close, and really the weekly close is even more important. Let's talk Solana here, which continues to kind of stay somewhat on the weaker side. A couple key levels on Solana that are coming into place. This one right below 140 here is going to be technical support. But really what I'm looking for is this lower one here around 120. That's that pivot low. That's that pivot low. And it actually goes all the way back here as well. So there's a lot of support around that 120 level. Now, granted, we hit it once and twice, so it's a little weaker of a level. But if it does flush down there, I'd still be a buyer since 2 hits. Usually you'll still bounce on the 3rd hit. It's once you get to 4 and 5 that you want to be very, very careful. There's a 2 cents of really good information right there in terms of hits of trend lines. Gold today bouncing up a little bit, right? So gold is moving up. That's okay. Overall, it's still bearish. What we can do is draw a parallel right here, and you're essentially got the wide range bar, and you're chopping there. We know that pattern. Every day we cover that pattern here in the game plan. That's still net bearish. Now, if we see more instability globally, is it possible that you start trading above that? Yes, and then that negates the bearish pattern, and the bullish probabilities take over. But as long as we're in this move, you would give it a B minus, which is, again, bearish, which means negative in terms of the bias there for probabilities.
Robert Kiyosaki predicts Bitcoin will rise further. Crypto entrepreneur Willy Woo discusses when Bitcoin's rally might end. Kiyosaki predicts Bitcoin could reach $350,000 by mid-2024. Willy Woo says Bitcoin's rally will end when investment is widespread. Only 4.7% of market capital is in Bitcoin. Kiyosaki and Woo are bullish on Bitcoin's potential for continued growth. Felix Delot, El Salvador's vice president, sees Bitcoin as pivotal for economic independence from fiat currencies like the US dollar. He emphasizes legislative strides toward integrating cryptocurrencies into the national economy. Delot views Bitcoin as crucial for liberating El Salvador from fiat currency dependence, aiming for economic autonomy. Reverting to the colon is dismissed due to its economic burden, prompting exploration of cryptocurrency integration. El Salvador's digital assets law encompasses cryptocurrencies, tokens, and digital assets to foster economic liberalization. Bitcoin's adoption is seen as revitalizing tourism, illustrating its potential economic benefits.
What's the S&P doing pre-market here? We are seeing a little bit of weakness, not a ton of weakness, but nonetheless, considering the big players out there have been controlling this market, the I shouldn't say 1 trillion, but the $6 trillion companies out there that are rated, again, anywhere between 1 trillion and now over 3 trillion, they've been controlling the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. But this morning, we are seeing some weakness. This was where we closed yesterday. We've rolled over into the open here. We are bouncing just a little bit. I want to lay out exactly what's happening. So, a couple things happened here. Number one, in the overnight, the dollar-yen, which again is the dollar in relation to the yen, had this wild ride. Now, again, this for the currency markets is like an earthquake. It is major. Now, what happened here? Well, the Japanese central bank said they were going to reduce their bond buying, and in addition, they were going to start to cut down on their balance sheet. They were going to start to lower their balance sheet. So this combination created volatility in the overnight, and it starts to make investors become concerned about the global financial system, because this is a change, and this is a big change from the Japanese central bank here. So again, overall, we've seen this wild move on the dollar-yen. We know that the dollar-yen kept going higher and higher and higher for so long that the Japanese central bank had to intervene just about a month ago. But again, this is something that is making the markets uneasy this morning on a global basis. Now, to add to this, the global insecurity, if you will, if we take a look at the CAC here, which is the French stock market, we basically have seen, this is the daily chart of the CAC, right? Look at this rollover. This is just this week, down 6% this week. And if we look at where this was just a couple weeks ago or a month ago, it was even higher. You've seen a big drop-off and roll-off. Basically, what's going on here is you have a lot of political upheaval going on in France. In fact, one of the French officials was asked, could this cause a financial crisis? And the answer was yes. That's rare for an official to say. Nonetheless, we have seen, again, just today alone, look at the drop on the CAC here, and yesterday as well, as the upheaval continues. So what we have is this scenario where things around the world are starting to shake. And the U.S. is still relatively stable. We've seen inflation starting to come down, although the jobs market does look like it's weakening after that initial claims number yesterday and some of the most recent data. But that, again, pushed the VIX. If we look at the VIX in the overnight here, which is the volatility index, it did pop it, although it's come in just a little bit. So if we look at the VIX here, look at this move in the overnight. It's come back in as things are stabilizing a little bit, but this is people buying protection for their portfolios, mainly institutions. So institutions running that VIX up, buying volatility. Essentially, if volatility spikes, the VIX goes up. Essentially, if fear spikes, the VIX goes up. If fear remains calm or no fear out there, then the VIX comes back in. So again, people are buying protection here on the market today. All right, so let's think about this logically. What do you guys think would happen? Where would money go if there's fear globally? And the answer should be safe haven assets. What are safe haven assets? The US dollar, bond market, as well as gold.
3 reasons why $65,000 marks the bottom for Bitcoin. Bitcoin shows strong support at $65,000 despite recent price drops. Here's why this level might be the bottom. The first, improved regulatory sentiment. Supportive legislation. U.S. lawmakers are increasingly pro-crypto, taking significant steps to explore crypto asset regulations. Growing political influence. Rising support in politics shows growing acceptance, despite Biden's veto. Banking sector incentives. Banks are motivated to offer crypto services, aligning with adoption trends. The second, Federal Reserve policy shifts. Pressure to lower rates. The Fed faces pressure to reduce rates due to persistent inflation and rising unemployment. Market reactions. Declining Treasury yields and rising S&P 500 indicate investors shift from cash. Policy adjustments. The Fed's cautious approach signals potential policy shifts to address economic concerns. The third, resilient Bitcoin derivatives. Stable metrics. Despite an 8.5% price drop, Bitcoin derivatives remained stable. Futures premium. The 2-month futures premium stayed above 10%, indicating market confidence. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and and subscribe for more exciting content.